All right, hello Tide fans. Welcome to Tide Talk. I'm your host, Sean Taylor, here on a little bit of a different kind of show. I mean, coming from a bowl win, we'll talk a little bit about that, but so much going on in the life of Alabama football. You know, I think that's mostly what we are kind of excited to talk about, or not excited to talk about, depending on how you look at it.
I guess so.
Right, Mo?
Mama said it.
We're just going to go ahead and preface before we get started that I'm more or less going to be the mediator during this show.
Last time I had a mediator, it cost me $400.
Between these two. But no, coming off of a big bowl win, let's don't take anything away from that. Big bowl win. Mac Jones got his fourth start, did what I think was a really good job against, you know, the 7th ranked defense in the country, I believe.
Yeah. They had a good defense all year long. That's what carried Michigan.
Yeah.
I was disappointed in our effort in the first half. Our defense, I thought, was very weak.
Yeah, we talked a little bit, Maurice, if I'm not mistaken, during that game, thinking, because we said on the previous show, Jimmy, you weren't here. We missed you though.
But glad I'm back though.
It's probably out buying the vest.
But remember, you know, we talked about that boulder on the shoulder, not just a chip.
Yeah.
You know, we were expecting, and we talked in the first half, where is that? Because we didn't see it. Now, I think we came out, Jimmy, in the second half and played a little bit more with that chip, a little bit more aggressive.
More intense.
Yeah, more passion, it seemed like. I don't know if we go in at halftime and got a butt chewing or what happened, but we came out and took care of business. I was really excited to see that, though. Excited to see that we went in at halftime and made some adjustments and technically dominated the entire second half. Jimmy?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
But
what's the movie, Major League? The movie. That's exactly right.
Mr. Excitement over here.
So I thought we came out flat defensively. We obviously made some type of adjustment for the second half. We did play with a little more energy, I felt like, and it showed. With 0 points. So I was extremely pleased. I mean, honestly, man, look, you never know how
bowl games are going to
how they're going to go. Again, what type of emotion kids are going to be playing with. Yeah, you would think they'd have a chip, but you never really know, you know. So I was glad to see us come out and kind of dominate and finish the game like we did for sure.
Maurice?
Not impressed.
Not impressed?
I think it's the microcosm of things to come.
Yeah.
And I'm being completely serious. That was this poor performance effort with a group of people that with expectations higher. And you can say I'm sour about the past 2 days. I think, and I just think that this team is trending downward. And I thought that was, everybody talks about they shut out Michigan in the second half. I got news for you. Michigan's offense sucked this entire year. I know this because I watched them, and an obnoxious friend of mine that's a Michigan fan, he even says that they're terrible and that Shea Patterson was terrible. It didn't live up to expectations. They had no running game. They had no great passing game. And yet they were running on us. Pathetic.
Yeah, I will say this, that in several conversations during that game, I believe my cousin and I, Ken Waller, who I've had on the show before, one of the main texts was, good thing Shea Patterson's not very good.
Yeah.
You know, because
I will agree with that too.
Yeah, because I will tell you that there were numerous times
It was good enough one time.
that we, looked bad. He just looked worse.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my biggest disappointment, and everybody has their opinion, and we're going to talk about those. I don't necessarily agree completely with that. I do agree in some respects, because as we said, all we heard was, we want to get back to Alabama. That's the team that was saying that, and they come out in the first half, and other than the first play of the game, didn't show me anything like
Right.
they were pissed off, that they were playing with a chip on their shoulder, that they were out to prove this is Alabama football. I didn't see that at all. And so I was a little more disappointed that first play of the game, we strike big, and I'm thinking, okay, this could get ugly. And I'm going to tell you, for the next 4 possessions, I don't know that we had 20 total yards.
I don't think we did. We couldn't run the ball on them. For some reason, we could only connect on short passes, and some of those were drops. It was just not whatever you want
Didn't
to
you
call
mention
it.
they were the 7th best defense in the country, though? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, we weren't going to put 50 points on the board against them.
Yeah, and I respect that. I respect that. However, looking at that game, I don't think it was what they did. Now, that's my opinion. I wasn't there and I wasn't playing, but based on what I saw, I didn't necessarily think it was what they did. It just looked like our guys were going through the motions. That's the way it looked to me. And so again, we said everybody has their opinions. That was just my opinion. We came out in the second half and looked a little bit different. We looked better offensively. We did, listen, Najee Harris in the second half looked like he was ticked off and ran the football.
So why does it take a half for you to show some effort?
Right.
Brian Robinson, when he finally got in, he made a couple of good runs. But it was Najee Harris. He finished, with 137? Midway through the third quarter, he was at 66. So he doubled his yardage in a quarter and a half. So why does it take that?
And I'll tell you, Jimmy, to your comment, even I was watching the game with some family, and my girlfriend Melissa made the comment. She said, you can't do this against good teams, and that's exactly right. It seems like, you go back to the days when we're dominating. We dominated from the kickoff to the buzzer in the fourth quarter. Well, lately, let's look at the LSU game.
Okay, so you're supporting my trend, but go ahead.
So I don't know why that is. It's taking us too long to get started. It looks like, we sometimes, and again, my opinion, my assessment, we go out there and we're saying we're Alabama. But somebody hits us in the mouth, somebody scores or, is a good team, and we're like, oh crap, we are Alabama, but we're not, we don't have that effect on this group, so we got to turn it on.
Well, I think as it goes on, it's almost like the Mike Tyson effect. It took the Buster Douglas to knock him out, and then everybody else said, hey, I might be able to take him on. And I think that's kind of what's going on with Bama right now. I don't think we roll our helmets out there and everybody's intimidated. I think you're starting to see people play us toe-to-toe.
And was there a chip in the armor from last year's national championship game? Did people see a blueprint?
Oh, I think so.
And like you said, that's a very good assessment. Heck, they did it. Why can't we? And we've always, because for the past 11, 12 years, we've always been at the top. So we always got everyone's best shot. Now it seems like we're not only getting their best shot, but we're getting even a little bit more. Now it's a more.
So again, we're getting everybody's best shot. Michigan came in with a chip on their shoulder. We're going to show these.
Oh yeah,
jokers down in the SEC. We know how to play football.
Right.
I mean, so you have to give them some credit. So we're getting everybody's best. I mean, I'm not sure when we were at our full strength as far as health is concerned, did we ever completed a game from start to finish. So, I mean, why would we expect the bowl game to be any different with backups nonetheless? So,
good point.
Again,
that's a good point.
I mean, I think maybe y'all or you are expecting too much out of them. I mean, I'm pleased with the game.
No, I have a level of expectation for the University of Alabama.
Right.
And this team didn't come close to it.
You're just that game.
Well, I'll go on as I think your time.
Yeah. But look, this is good conversation. This is what the expectation is, because we want to break that down and get opinions. We want to know from different perspectives, and you bring a good perspective. That's a good point, Jimmy. That Did we see us play a full game from start to finish even when we were healthy? I don't know that we did, because I can recall on the show and even during the games us saying, we still really didn't play that well. We still can get better. So a lot to be discussed. We're going to take a quick break on behalf of Bob English and State Farm. So hold your seats, Tide fans. We'll be right back with Tide Talk.
Bob.
Enjoy the good times a little more with the right plan. As your State Farm agent, I am here to help you protect your dreams and loved ones with life insurance. With over 60 years combined State Farm experience, call me or any of my team to find out which options are best for you. Another way, we're here to help life go right.
All right, welcome back, Tide fans. I want to pause for a second and just, again, thank our sponsor, Bob English. Bob English, he has, it was tough for me to say, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bob has been with us for the past couple of years, done a really good job. We appreciate that. Folks, if you have any insurance needs, make sure you reach out to Bob English with State Farm.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Didn't get any wings from Bob, but that would have been nice.
So we were
Kidding,
talking
I'm
right
kidding.
before that break, and look, it's good to hear opinions. It's good to get different
How
perspectives.
about an honest opinion? Okay? I mean, I don't want to, poo-poo on your parade. This team has so much talent. It is, in my opinion, and I'd be glad to tell Nick, and he probably knows it too, it's the most disappointing team in all of college football this year. You had so much freaking talent. And this is the most underachieving effort I've ever seen by a talent-rich team that's not named Georgia Bulldogs. I'm sorry. That's the truth.
I don't disagree that this team underachieved for the most part all year long.
All these jackholes going pro because they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they couldn't go undefeated during the regular season. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't say that. You can bleep that out. But it's just absurd. It's kids that think so much of themselves that you didn't come close to your potential. You go back and you look at the 09 team, the 2010 team, they had injuries. Now, I'll give you Auburn in the referees, but let that one go. But South Carolina and LSU beat us. We were beat up, but they took advantage of us and they won. Outside of those teams, the 11 team, the 12 team, 13 had some dips, but those teams, those were men. Those were guys that took it upon themselves to set the bar, and they reached it. And they kept striving. These kids, spoiled,
You don't think injuries had anything to do with us losing a couple of games?
Did anybody else have injuries?
I'm asking. You talking about the injuries in 2010?
Well, I'm
we
just
lost 3
wondering,
games.
did
We lost 3
Auburn
games.
have any injuries?
I don't know if they did or
LSU?
not.
I'm pretty sure they did.
But I'm saying you referenced 2010. We had injuries because we lost 3 games. Well, we had injuries this year. I'm
We
guaranteeing.
had injuries, Dante Hightower in 2009, but we went undefeated.
Here's what I think is difficult. As Alabama fans, we are expecting, based on past teams, based on previous years, we are expecting national championships every year. And is that realistic? Is that realistic?
Look, I left California last year with my tail tucked and booked rooms in New Orleans because I knew we'd be back there this year. So, yeah, I'm certainly disappointed. We underachieved, but I'm not going to go off the edge just yet.
Here's the thing, Maurice.
When will you?
Here's the thing, though, that I'm going to say, that I do somewhat agree with you as it relates to the underachieving part.
Right.
They're talking right now, was the 2017 class the greatest recruiting class ever?
There's my point.
And man, we go 11-2. For Alabama, that is underachieving.
Yeah.
For Alabama, that is underachieving.
In 09, playing with shoeless players greatest effort, went undefeated. 08 we went undefeated. End up losing
To Florida in the Sugar
right.
Bowl.
But a great effort all year long with shoeless players. That was not top tier talent. And here we have this amount of talent.
So do we fire all the coaches, or we just get rid of all the players and start over from scratch? Is it the players or the coaches? Because aren't the coaches supposed to get the best out of the players?
Well, if you get rid of the players, who's going to play?
I mean, I don't know. I'm asking a question. So, I mean, is it the players or the coaches, or is it both?
Well, from
I mean,
the way I was brought up, it starts with the coaches.
Okay.
And I firmly believe that if you are responsible for what goes on the field, 11 players, not 12, by the way, that's 3 times in 2 games. That's a joke. Are you kidding me? 12 players? Like, don't you know what to call? Don't you know who to put in? That's getting old, and it got old real fast, and it cost us one game, one very important game. So, yeah, I'm in favor of making some
shuffle?
replacements. Yes,
A coaching shuffle.
I am.
Yeah. So again, I'm not laying it on the players more than I am the coaches. I think we've missed on some coaching hires. Obviously, there's a lot of shuffling. We got how many new coaches come in and come and go.
The thing that Coach Saban is always talking about, he's worried about complacency. And it's there, and it's alive and well in Tuscaloosa.
Listen, I'm going to tell you that I think that it's a product of our environment. It's a product of the environment in Tuscaloosa. I guess going back to the 09, 010 teams, these guys, I think we said it early in the year, are you coming to Alabama to play for the University of Alabama? Or are you coming to Alabama
You're trying to set me off, aren't you?
to play 2 years and get out? Are you coming
I
with
think
that
we've proved that
team
point.
concept in mind? Jalen Hurts staying, although he could have left, team concept in mind? Or are you coming to get your 2 years and get to the pros?
It's about getting in the league. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
It's about getting in the league.
And look, I think that is man, it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword because you're getting top-tier talent. I mean, we've been in the top 3 in recruiting for how long?
Since
Since he's been there,
So
practically.
we're getting the talent. We've won more national championships than any team in the country. Now we're starting to see the negative side to that because guys, in my opinion, are a little bit more selfish. Listen, I'll go back and say it. I've said it before. To me, the Clemson team from last year was the most unselfish team because they had 4 first-round draft picks on the front line defensively.
What about Auburn's this year?
And they came back, and you know why they came back? They came back to beat Alabama.
Yes.
And they did, to death, in the national championship game. That's unselfish. We are not seeing, now, we've seen a little bit of it this year. Devontae Smith's coming back. Alex Leatherwood's coming back. Dylan Moses is coming back.
Josh McMillan.
We're starting to see some of that. We're just a little.
Is our kicker coming back? I was hoping no.
Hey, I bet you right now, Sheriff Taylor is absolutely loving that watching this show.
Anyway,
But we're missing out on a few guys. But listen, we've been saying it for a long time, guys. Every one that comes in and is a dominant player, they leave early. We're accustomed to that.
And
we're
Alabama,
just now.
by the way, Alabama's not the only one with
That's
juniors
right.
are leaving.
We're just now. It's affecting us.
We're the
It's
most,
affecting us more because this year we didn't get a chance to play in the national championship game. We were we were disappointed in that, and so we were really hoping as fans that hey, these guys are going to stay because come on, Tua stays, Judy stays, Terrell Lewis stays, Trayvon Diggs stay, and they all come back. I mean, there are no guarantees, but the chances are we're back in the national championship game, and likely,
Well, back to the point you were making about, are they coming to get in the league after their 2 years or 3 years is up, or they're coming to win a national championship? I mean, I think it's a little bit of both, but I think primarily, because you think about this, and it's a recruiting tool. I mean, how many jerseys and what are they, when they're walking through the facility, about
Right.
all the all-pros and all, the first rounders, we got more first rounders. So yeah, they're coming here to get to the league these days, whereas before they were coming to build this program back up.
What does that
So-
matter if you want to be a first rounder or all pro, all that? That's beautiful, but that has nothing to do with you not staying another year. I can understand somebody like Josh Jacobs or Najee Harris who are homeless. I get that because you really are hardship. But these other ones, no, I just want to get paid. Well, you're here in college for a reason. And it's the only time in your life that you're going to be in this environment. And statistics show within 10 years you're going to be bankrupt. I'm not wishing that. I'm just saying what the stats
Right.
show. So you've been asking me, am I just mad because it's Alabama? Well, yeah, that's the only one I care about. I could care less what Nebraska does or USC. But we have potentially 7. I haven't heard from Najee Harris. 7 out of 22, that's at 34% of our starting 22 that's leaving early. There is, and I'll get into, can I get into this or we got to go to commercial?
let's take a short break because it's a great conversation. We're
But
gonna
it's
take
my
a
turn to talk. when we
Okay, I'll
get
let you
back.
talk. We're going to take a short break.
Okay.
On behalf of Bob English and State Farm, hold your seats, Tide fans. We'll be right back with Tide Talk.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries, and home and auto insurance from State Farm. So make it a combo. Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Just call me, Bob English, or any of my experienced hometown team and find out how you could start saving today. It's just another way.
All right, welcome back, Tide fans. We couldn't get through that break fast enough before we had a chance to let Maurice have the mic. So we're going to dive right into where we left off. Maurice, take it away.
All right, 6 players that are leaving that really think a lot of themselves. It used to be where it was an anomaly for a player to leave early. I mean, Lord knows what the heck was Peyton Manning and Matt Leinart thinking? I mean, 2 number 1 overall draft picks coming back for the senior year. Are they crazy? Now, I get the fact that you should leave early to get paid because there's a person called Ken Swilling at Georgia Tech that came back for his senior year, ended up being drafted in the 7th round instead of the 1st, and then got cut. I get that. But that was such an anomaly as far as he didn't take care of himself and everything that we have today. But we have 6, then 7 players. Now, if Najee goes, that's 45% of our starters that are going early. There is no way at this trend, along with graduation, that you can sustain a championship level team, which is what we are, what we strive to be, and expect to be in championship playoffs or championship games. It's just, you're losing an extra senior class. You're losing half a class. The other half of the class didn't even get on the field because they didn't pan out. So I used an example. Remember a guy named Jarrell Harris? He was recruited by Shula, was number 5.
Yes.
He's a big kid,
Yes.
outside linebacker. Couldn't get on the field under Saban this first 2 years, but because of injury, somebody got hurt, he came in and played, and he never left. Okay? So when that starter got hurt, he pulls a senior. Now we're hoping that freshmen can grow fast enough into the position to where they can hold on to it long enough or learn long enough to where we went from juniors and seniors coming in and playing to true freshmen trying to play at this level.
Good point.
You cannot sustain that. Then you combine that with injuries.
So did we see some of that this year?
Yes.
This is the first, it's really the first year that we started really seeing that because even though they are 5 stars, you know, I'm talking about we recruit well every year. We're in the top 3, but even though they're 5 stars, they have 0 experience, and now they're in Division I, SEC.
So I agree that it's becoming an issue, especially I guess for Alabama. Again, I don't know.
Name another team that has
know.
as many people leave early.
I have
as
no
we
idea
do.
because, like you said, I don't care about other teams. But
I got news for you.
what
There's
about
none. There's
but what
your
about the juniors that left the year before last? Were they the reason why we lost the championship game last year?
Jimmy,
It's
it's
starting the trend.
trending.
It's the
I
trend.
know,
Thank
I
you.
know,
It's the
I know,
trend.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
We lose juniors every single year that go to the first round of the
Three
NFL.
is manageable. 6 or
How
7.
many did we lose last year? I have no idea. Tell me.
I don't know. I didn't research.
So how you know it wasn't 5 or 6? Were you cussing them for leaving last year?
Probably.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a bad
Why are you
trend.
defending? I'm telling you that this
know.
is not helping us.
I know it's not helping us. It's a trend.
What are you, their
in the
banker?
wrong, in the wrong way. but I'm not. I mean,
Make sure we're getting all this, please, on film.
So here's the thing. Here's what I say. I don't have a problem with them leaving.
Obviously.
If because most of them leave with an education. Most of them have their degrees when they leave. Not all of them. Most of them do. If somebody goes to school for 3 years and graduates and wants to go pursue
I got
a
no
career,
problem with that.
Okay, then I'm not saying all these guys have graduated, but some of them have graduated.
Look, they are able to graduate within 3.5 years because, you know, now you're in Tuscaloosa, you're at every
you
college.
get there early.
You
and
get there early,
yeah.
you're there for 12 months. Not to mention you have tutors, which is a great support staff. I mean, they're not doing the work for them because that would be a huge violation, and I don't believe Saban is like that. But he gives them all the tools that they need to succeed.
Correct.
That's great. There's nothing wrong with furthering your education by going for a master's. There's nothing wrong with staying in college for 4
you're right.
years. Hold on. There's nothing wrong with staying in college for 4 years to where you get a little bit. Let me ask you a question. Do you remember when you were 20? What was it like between 20 and 21? Okay, what about 20 and 22? Did you grow a little bit? Yeah, you did. You matured a little bit. You may not remember it, but you matured from that time on. These kids are going to the pros way too early. First of all, physically, did you see Rashaan Evans the other night?
Absolute beast.
He didn't look like that. I'm not talking about steroids. You know his
Right.
mom and dad. They're bigger. They're in great shape. But he finally filled out and reached his physical peak. These guys are leaving early. First, they're not fully developed. Terrell Harris.
Right.
Anyway, watch a tape of Chase Young.
Lewis, not Harris.
I'm sorry.
I know what you meant. I know you're getting rattled.
Yeah, I am getting rattled. So that's how you play that position. He's not there yet. These other guys, Jed Wills, you're going to go to the pro and commit 3 penalties a game there?
No,
What?
because you're going to sit because there's somebody else ready to replace you. Yeah.
Exactly. I need
Listen,
some water.
I am really torn because I see your point. I do believe that it is something that it is trending downward. We saw this year really the effects of what you're talking about.
Yep.
This was really the first year that we've seen it. And the reason is because, like you said, the youth. We didn't have the junior, senior to step in when we had freshmen.
Right.
And granted, we're recruiting well, but
Let alone, we had 2 5-stars leave. They didn't pan out. They just quit.
right. That's right.
And so that hurts you. Now, will that happen again out of the 26 that we have signed now? I'm sure not.
possible.
Yeah, I'm sure not each one of them is going to pan out.
It's possible.
So now you combine that with 7 starters leaving.
Yeah, but I also see your point. I agree that if guys can go and graduate and get their degrees and have a chance to pursue a dream, and so I'm torn. I don't know where I lie on that because as an Alabama fan, man, I want to see Alabama play for a national championship as an Alabama fan. I believe that the expectation this year was that we were going to play for a national championship.
I thought we would go undefeated easily. I said that's not our biggest challenge. Our biggest challenge is going to be when we get to the playoffs.
Right.
Now,
Everybody talked about that.
Right. Nobody saw, of course, Joe Burrow. If you did, then you would have laid money down on it. Winning the Heisman and being Mr. Everything. And Lord help me, what happened with Auburn.
Yeah.
Well,
So
again,
yeah.
you're right. I can't. I mean, again, I'm disappointed in the season too. And you're right. I think we underachieved.
I don't mean
but,
to yell at you.
But
But I
the fact
do.
that these guys are leaving early, it happens every single year. And we. And
Are you not understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth?
If they make it to their senior year, more than likely they're not going to be in the NFL. So they're good enough to leave. How many seniors?
Did y'all hear this?
Yes, Alabama. How many Alabama seniors graduate as a senior and go to the NFL? There's more of them leaving as juniors to go to the NFL than seniors.
I'm sorry.
They're more
I'm
leaving
just saying.
early.
So
The trend has been they're more leaving early.
So I mean, we have more guys. We have more juniors. We have more juniors.
Stop. Yeah.
We have more
I
juniors
want to
getting
help
in
you
the
out
NFL
here.
than seniors.
So, in other words, based on your logic, if Jerry Jeudy stays another year, he won't get drafted.
I didn't say that.
That's what you said.
No, I said we have more juniors going to the NFL.
But
than
if
we
they
have
don't
seniors.
leave after their junior year, they're done.
If they make it
Terrible.
No, if they
went
make it to their
downhill.
seniors,
They're pathetic.
obviously.
We obviously know
He's
how
gonna
Maurice
agree to
feels.
disagree, yeah.
We know how
So,
Maurice feels.
He don't want any of them to leave. He don't want any of them going to the NFL. He don't want none of them to
If
succeed.
you are a top, I'll give you 15. That's it. But to Saban's point, if you're leaving if you're leaving early and you're a second, what's the point? Stay around.
Increase your stock.
Increase it. And even if you don't,
understand.
stick around and enjoy the college experience.
And get your education, finish your education for
Let me ask
those
you-
that didn't.
You've been to Tuscaloosa before, right?
Once or twice.
What's it like at game time? Have you seen the Walk of Champions? Pretty
Pretty cool.
impressive. You think the Detroit Lions have it? You think the Cincinnati Bengals have that?
I don't know. I've never.
So
been,
you wanna
I've
leave?
never been to one of their home games.
Neither have I, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say no.
But let me go back and when I was 20 years old, if somebody would have offered me
You're going back to-
$100,000 or $1 million or $2 million, I'd have jumped at the chance in a second because I hated school. Obviously, I wasn't good enough to do that. So again, I don't blame these kids for going.
It is difficult. I'll go back to what I said earlier. We at Alabama, we've developed a monster, and that monster is the NFL. It's getting kids to the NFL. I just don't see enough kids like the Clemson team from 2 years ago that came. I don't see enough kids
They're seniors.
of us,
They're not going to get drafted.
enough of our kids doing that. Now, I am seeing some guys saying they're staying, and I'm happy to see that. Dylan Moses, Alex Leatherwood, Devontae Smith. I'm seeing those guys.
Let me ask you a question. You were against all the coaches that come for a year or two and then get better jobs and leave, using Alabama as a stepping stone, correct?
I didn't say I disagree.
You're okay with it?
I mean, why would you not be okay with it?
Because you're only there for a year or two and you're using us just because you're able to put University of Alabama on your resume to go to another level, even though Dan Enos, University of Miami, congratulations, you were offense coordinator 1 year. You got fired because you weren't ready for it. So he left. All these other coaches, the offense coordinator from Michigan, Gaddis, they were terrible offensively all year, not just in the bowl game. So all these coaches leaving, I don't understand how that's any different than what the players are doing.
What you're saying is they need more time to, and here's, I think where you're going is Kirby Smart.
Yeah,
Kirby Smart was there for 9 years,
exactly. He's doing pretty good.
and so now he's a little more polished. He has more experience, and so he's having more success as a head coach.
Right. Jeremy Pruitt, he wasn't always at Alabama, but he paid his dues. He was the high school coordinator under Saban. And then he got on the field, and then he got a coordinator's position. Then he got another one, and then he
All
came
right,
back.
so let me ask you this then on that, in regards to that. So you started your career when you got out of college. You worked for ABC Company, and you worked there for a year, 2 years, and all of a sudden they approached you, say, "Hey, Maurice, man, we've got this higher level job. We're going to pay you twice your salary. We want to get you up there.
Thank you for.
Now, are you going to tell them, no, I don't think I want to do that because I'm not ready yet. I'm just going to sit back here and learn a little bit more, and y'all come see me about 5 years from now, and I'll be ready? Or are you going to go ahead and take that promotion? What are you going to do?
That is quite a question.
I mean,
Good point.
So, I mean, you know.
That's a good point.
I mean, are some of them coming there, yes,
you
to
stop?
pad
Can you
their
stop?
resume?
Can I
No.
answer?
No, not yet.
right.
So some of them are coming out of Alabama, you're right, I think are padding their resumes, and you're right, that's not cool. But, man, you never know. When you get hired on, whether it be a coach, wherever, you know, when you're going to be ready to be, get that promotion. And these coaches, I mean, who's to say they're not ready? Who's to say? But if somebody comes calling me to give
With
me
more money
to
and
give
an
me a
op-
promotion
Yeah.
and
gonna
give me
take it.
more money,
Right.
I'm taking it.
All
So
right,
go
30
ahead.
seconds.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
take.
yeah, go ahead.
Do you think Kirby Smart ever got a job offer before he got Georgia's?
We're not talking about Kirby Smart. But yes, you're right. He
We're
did.
talking about the Kirby Smarts. So to
we'll
Okay.
just
So
talk in
basically,
general.
yes. If I started at Total System and I was there for 2 years, and then First Data came along and said, "Hey, we want you to be CEO," and offered me a bunch of money, would I take it? I probably would. Would I fail? Yes, I would.
But would you care though? Because all you're looking at is the money and that promotion,
it
right?
depends on the long term. So I hear you, and you're right. Because if you fail and you get fired, now you don't have anything.
Right. See Dennis Francione.
So here's the positive, gentlemen. The positive is Alabama is still the go-to for both athletes and coaches. Alabama is the point. It is the,
We're still the standard.
we're still the standard. People can talk all they
Until
want.
Monday.
People can talk all they want. Listen, Clemson's a really good program. Dabo Swinney has done a phenomenal job. Look, he's kept his staff minus
Which
one
is-
coach for basically 5 years.
Which is going to come to an end.
Yeah, that will. It will, because somebody's going to offer Venables some money
Well,
soon.
when his kids get old enough to where they're not around, he's going to take it. So.
But the positive is Alabama's still the standard. We are still in the top 3 in recruiting. What I'm really hoping to see is what Dylan Moses said in his return statement. It's personal. We've got unfinished business, and I want to help my teammates get back to national championship football. So I'm hoping that he pulls some guys along with him. I'm hoping that he's that alpha dog that we did not have this year.
Him and Josh.
We missed that. So listen, LaBryan Ray is coming back. So I'm really hoping that we do see the chip. I'm really hoping that Nick Saban has to do a really good job of motivating these guys. But at the end of the day, all of what we're talking about is positive because Alabama is still the center of attention.
At the end of the day, we still come back next year, regardless of who's leaving early or not, with one of the most talented rosters in the country.
Correct.
Now, whether we need to fire coaches or not, we're not losing any coaches, so we've got everybody coming back from a coaching standpoint. So we don't have any turnover in coaches. We still got one of the best.
Unfortunately.
I mean,
There's some
unfortunately, like I said,
consistency.
we could argue whether we needed to or not, but nonetheless.
Can we get some Kool-Aid?
And we still have one of the best rosters
As long as it's not
in
Joe
the
Burrow's
country.
Kool-Aid.
So
Yes,
go ahead
you're
and
right,
book
Jimmy.
your tickets to the championship next year.
So that's going to be it for this year's show. We will be back.
Why don't we have to end it with a headache? But go ahead.
We will be back with Tide Talk for the 2020-2021 season. We will be doing it on Channel 7 and 207. Hopefully, Maurice, you may be back.
Don't know where I'll be.
We don't know where you'll be. Hopefully, you'll be back. But Maurice, it's been great having you on the show. We
Thank you.
certainly appreciate your knowledge, your passion, your opinion.
Honesty.
Knowledge, really?
Yeah. Jimmy, it's always a pleasure. You're going to be around, and we look forward
Good
to
Lord willing.
We
Yep,
look
thank
forward to Tide Talk next year. And guys, that's it for this year. And roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Bye, Bob.
Bye, Bob.